they were doing a lot of slow-mo shots. And there was one where some of the main characters were running in a battlefield, and there was just explosions and dust and dirt flying all around them. And I don't know if necessarily that's representative exactly of what we'll see in the film, since that was a behind-the-scenes shot. So I don't know if that exact shot we will see in the film. But it just showed to me, like, this is some of the cinematography that I love other franchises for. There are other franchises I love, like The Matrix, that aren't Star Wars, that I love not because it's like the epic story that's Star Wars, but just because they're very innovative in the way that they actually portray the story visually, and the special effects and camera angles and all that stuff. And I'm just so excited to see a merger of the amazing story and emotion and adventure that is Star Wars with different styles of cinematography. I think George Lucas stayed to a very specific style. I feel like The Force Awakens did a very good job of sticking to that with only a few things kind of new, in my opinion. Dominic's not quite sure. It's about 50-50. Whereas this, I feel, is going to be a very, very, very different.
And this is going to be very different.
And so that kind of gave me chills, because I just kind of had that moment of realization. Like, I knew that it would be different, but then when I saw it, I'm seeing it for the first time. This is going to be different, and that really excites me.
There's one thing we haven't talked about. These sick posters. We've all got one. The Rogue One poster, the Death Star in the background, the Rebels on the beach, the Stormtroopers in the water. It's awesome, but it's kind of weird. Like, it's not a typical Star Wars poster. It almost looks fan-made from a certain point of view. But that being said, I love it. I'm so glad we all got them, and I'm so glad Kathleen Kennedy signed them all for us.
Yes.
But I think that's a good point to raise, because I think that kind of epitomizes the panel. Although there are some faults with the way in which we can perceive the panel, and which some of us think that it could have been better. But at least we've got that as a token of the memory of this panel, and be like, when we look at that poster, we'll say, you know what, that was actually quite a cool panel in here.
Yeah,
there was some cool stuff that we learned.
Any criticisms, any qualms we may have with the panel, I'm always going to look back on that as like one of the best times of just seeing all that so much good new Star Wars.
Yeah, and I have to say, like, the poster was great, Mendo was great, the clip was great, the preview was great, but one of my favorite things about the Rogue One panel is going to be getting a proper night's sleep tonight.
Hey. Many of us have been up for way too long, with only maybe a nap over the past 24 hours.
45 minutes sleeping on the floor. That's all I've gotten in the last 48 hours.
Celebration is always an experience, but it shows how worth it is that we'll put ourselves through this.
We're still going.
Only through Star Wars will I walk at 2 a.m. over a mile in somewhere in London. I don't really know where I am.
In a completely different continent, you know.
Only for Star Wars. Well, I think that's going to wrap it up for this show. We want to thank, first and foremost, our live audience for joining us. Yeah. Half of them have passed out sleeping while we've been talking after the exhaustion, but
they got their moment in the sun and then they ran.
Thank you, everybody, for staying awake through this. And then, of course, thank you to our audience listening to this on iTunes, StarWarsUnderworld.com, Stitcher, everywhere else that you find podcasts after the fact. We appreciate you continuing to listen, and it's just amazing to continue to meet more and more of you as you go out to these conventions, and we're able to go to these conventions. It's just a very humbling and amazing experience for us to be involved at the center of something like this.
Absolutely.
So I want to give some special shout out to our good friends Edward and Lizzie for manning our booth while all of us here were at the Rogue One panel. That was very generous of them to spend their time doing that. And we also want to give a special shout out to Ben, who couldn't be with us, Ben Hart. And a special shout out to Zach and Lily for helping host the Star Wars Underworld podcast while me and Dominic have been traveling about Europe for the past few weeks. And thanks to the hosts here, to Ciaran, Dominic, and Steele. And Steele, plug your stuff.
Oh, yeah, so I'm doing daily blog pods from Celebration, so if you want to, it's mainly, Ciaran's been on it, Dom's been on it heaps, and it's just us, like, podcasting from in the line and from the panel and having adventures. So, if you want more Celebration coverage every day at steelewars.com or on iTunes or on the free app for your iPhone or iPad.
So definitely check that out. It's great stuff. I've tried to sneak in and annoy them with my energy a few times.
You don't have to sneak in.
And then once again, special thanks to all of our live audience for joining us. And we will see you. Usually this is when I say we'll see you same time, same place next week. But we really don't know when.
Next week is with Comic-Con.
We don't know when we'll
what's
see you
going
again.
on,
But I'm sure there will be a show on Thursday
Ben will have a show.
Ben will be doing. So definitely.
Let's meet in this empty expo center next week.
Yeah,
Next week,
that's what
same
it
time,
is.
same place.
It's just a Steele show. He will steal the show. One last pun for the evening. So once again, thank you for everybody. Should I list everybody again?
Yeah,
Yeah, let's do it. I'm gonna list everybody here. Okay, for Steele and Dominic and Ciaran and all of our amazing live audience. My name is Chris. Until next time, may the Force be with you.
It's a wrap.